Today, February the 27th, and I call the meeting to order of the Durant Tourism Economic Development Authority. Jim, do you lead us in the invocation, flag salute?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sorry.
Debbie, would you call the roll?
Trustee Anthony here. Trustee Davis.
Here.
Trustee Reed.
Present.
Vice Chairman DeWalt.
Here.
Chairman Shear.
Here.
Oh, I don't know.
Is everyone on? They're not.
Yeah, I don't have Trustee Thorpe.
Sorry. I thought you forgot about it, yeah.
I guess when I redid it, I'd seen you so much, I was trying to.
All right. First order of business is approval of the minutes of the 30th January 24 regular meeting.
Make a motion to accept the minute.
I'll accept it. I mean, I'll second it.
Okay.
I'm having difficulty.
It's all right. We'll get there.
I was on my own for 50 minutes before. Okay. Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Davis.
Yes.
Trustee Reed.
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe.
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt.
Yes.
Chairman Shear.
Yes. Financial reports.
Okay, if you can look on page 5, you see our previous balance was $613,474 with some change. As you see the deposits and the checks that we wrote, and it brings our current balance to $629,930.50. And again, Grace has done a wonderful job at listing everything that we paid. I did take it upon myself too to compare year over year to year to date, and we are over by quite about 20,000. We're at 300,873 for year to date 2024, 23, 24, and last year we were at 286.19 at this point in the years. Did a little bit better.
Are we running a month behind on this?
Yeah, it's jumped to
Why is that?
January. Yeah,
Why is that?
because February had ended yet.
Well, this is February the, what, 23rd, 24th, and this was for January 1st?
No, it's got January included. That was the 32,337 that they deposited.
So
For
we always
January.
stay a month behind.
Yeah.
So what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we're seeing the money coming in. You can tell it's been slow up in hotels, right?
Yes.
Because we went down at least, what, $4,000 this month?
Yeah, this last month we did go down, but year to date, we're 23, 24, we are ahead of last year, last fiscal year.
Any other questions? Okay. All right.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Let's move to number 3, grant applications. First one is Events International Durant Sports Festival. Jeff?
Again.
Yes,
Fancy meeting you here.
yeah. I've got my car, it's got
Got
autopilot
automatic
up here.
drive to here.
Yeah, I wanna congratulate the guys that worked on that road, because, you know, just south of Durant, that's a great road.
Yeah, it's a lot better, isn't it?
It was a little bit dicey for a while
Yeah,
there.
it was.
Yeah. But, hey, thanks again for having me here, and Ryan, of course, from the Park Department. It's the same thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago. The sports festival is the only one of its kind that we could find in the United States. It's a month-long event. There's 5 weekends in June, and we have about 3 events coming into Durant for each weekend. And that would be a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday deal. We've, I think we shared with you when we were first here that we're looking somewhere around 18 to 19,000 people, and that would be participants and family and event management teams coming in for that entire month. And we figured out just on a revenue basis, on one of every 4 people, if they spend $300, we're somewhere around $1 million, I think $1.3 million or $1.4 million for the total revenue during that time. So it's a significant amount of people coming in, and it's obviously a significant amount of money coming in. And the grant money that we're requesting is going to be used to offset some of the expenses that the various events are meeting. And that would be basically what we're looking for, is to offset the facility cost and to offset a portion of the referees, the umpires, the what I call admins, the people that actually run the programs. And so far, we've got, like I said, about 15 different events, and they're all different type of events. There are sporting events, there's clinics. It's really a unique deal, and when Ryan and I first started talking about this, and then his mind started to wander, and he's being very creative and bringing in different events that, you know, I mean, I never thought of when I first came up with the idea. And that's how we're up to about 15 events now, and the number of people coming in, and we're looking forward to it. And the big thing that we're looking for in our mind is this is the first year. If we do this right, and my philosophy I've put on the rugby tournaments for the last 2 years here is don't, under promise and over deliver. And we've been very, very successful with that kind of philosophy. And what we're looking for is this thing to run as smooth as possible. We'll be monitoring every event, both before, after, and during, while the event's being held. But the most important thing we want is to people to leave Durant after this thing and say, hey, this is a hell of a great time. There's a lot to do in Durant. We've worked with the casino, we've worked with the park department, we have events for the kids, we have events for the adults after hours, after the actual tournament, to keep them here, because obviously one of our goals is heads in beds. Mm-hmm. And so far it's been really successful, and everybody's positive about it, and we're ready to release our agreements with these people, and that's why we're here. So, questions?
So really what we're saying, you want 25,000, but the 25,000 is $5,000 per weekend. And so really each event, and we do this anyhow for the weekend. Sometimes they ask for $5,000 and $10,000, but so what it is, it's really $5,000 for each weekend, so that equals up to 25,000. So
yeah, if you look at it that way,
I think
yes.
it's great.
Yeah, and I think it's the neatest thing is we're bringing people into the town that have not. We anticipate probably 70% of the people will be from outside the area, and they get a chance to see Durant, and they look at the casino. Obviously, a big attraction, especially with the young people. But the people come in and they see it and they find out that, hey, look what they're doing there. They've got the district part of the casino. They're doing a basically half off on everything. So it's very safe for their kids to come in, and parents can go have a drink while the kids play in the arcade. We have the library showing movies, the park department showing movies, and just things that keep the family together, that keep them entertained. And when the mom and pop get in the car on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon after their event's over, they walk down and they go, oh, God, this was a heck of a deal. You know, we had a good time. It was safe, underlined safe, and let's come back next year and make it bigger and better. And that's really what our goal is. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe Brian may be the one that needs to answer this.
Mhm.
How many of these were actually already confirmed dates and they were on the calendar before the tournament?
None.
Okay, so we don't have any youth baseball, youth softball?
No.
during the
We've
summer?
had,
I believe we funded some of those.
Bryan County Sports has held tournaments over this last summer. They held roughly one per month. I told him to dial it back and do one, or he had one per weekend. So it saturated his own deal. He might have other tournaments, but this one will be, when we started scheduling this, there was nothing, he wasn't thinking of that this summer. He was looking at fall baseball at that time.
So he had none of these already booked?
Nope.
Okay. But they have been on the schedule, you just said he had it saturated over a month.
And last summer he did multiple
I don't know
tournaments.
who he is,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, Brian.
Whomever it is. With that being said, it's not really creating a new tournament.
It's
Those tournaments have already
focusing.
existed.
Yeah, it's focusing.
Okay.
Instead of doing a bunch of different tournaments over multiple weekends and over the entire summer, it's focusing it to where there's only one baseball tournament in the summer as of right now. There might be others, like KST or KS Tournaments is hosting tournaments from, they start this month, March, and they will do one all the way up till June. Now, they came to me after we started this deal. Adult softball, they didn't have one planned. I asked them, because they have in the past, if they would be interested in doing it. Same thing with 77 football. They have done tournaments in the past, different time of year or along those lines, so it's just bringing it all into 1 month.
How will this money be funneled in? Will it be through, because this is the dual partnership, who would we make the check out to? To the city, and if so, whose budget does that go into?
The original idea would be to go into Events International, and then all the expenses before the money was given to the various groups, Ryan would review it, we'd get both of our signatures on it, and that's how we would put out the expenses, put out the revenue, the
So
grant
the
money.
revenue will actually flow, our revenue, our check, that if
Yeah.
this is approved, will come directly to you, Jeff,
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that correct?
Yep.
To your business?
And I'll monitor, log every expense in just like I've done in the past.
Okay.
Yep.
So each one of these individual tournaments are going to be paying an entry fee?
Yep.
Okay, who is that entry fee coming in?
They go to those individual tournament directors. Depending on which tournament, what is going on, they funnel their own money in, and we're just helping offset their costs so they can already plan, okay, we can accept this many teams for sure, because we have the funding for this many umps or refs for the period.
And I have no problem, I think this is a fantastic idea, but I do have a problem if we are double dipping and double funding.
Like all the events that are held by the city, cornhole, scuba, the only thing I'm asking for those events, or if we get it, the t-shirts for branding, that's it. Well, I'm not really asking for the other stuff. It's the outside, the third-party organizations that do have a tougher time paying officials. So getting them a step up or a advantage to say, okay, we can definitely host this many teams, but there shouldn't be any double dipping.
If they are paying an entry fee to each one of these tournament directors, because they're each, the youth baseball, youth softball, each one of these, they are paying a entry fee, but that entry fee is going straight to the director, but you guys are still picking up the larger portion of the expenses.
Actually, we're picking up a smaller portion. Like, I can speak really accurately with the rugby. Rugby costs, the money that is coming in, will only offset X number of dollars of the referees and $600 on the field. By the time I get all my admins in, I pay my, have my ambulance. I'm one of the few rugby tournaments that has an ambulance there the entire time. We have maintenance on site. We have a bunch of different things that make it safe and make it attractive. By the time that I spend all that, I barely make enough money to pay for my hotel rooms.
Well, and again, I'm not questioning
Yeah, no, I know
the
that.
validity, because I think this is a great idea. But what I am questioning is the entry fees that are basically being paid. They've managed on those entry fees coming in, and you're picking up a portion of the expenses for them at this point. So are they not contributing in any way?
They're paying their
to the
own,
overall cost?
like Jeff said, each tournament director, they gave me a list of all their expenses, ranging from hotel stays, official costs, to field reservations, the whole 9 yards. And we took, okay, so with baseball, Bryan County Sports, their official fee is and 77 football is roughly $10,000. We're not giving them $10,000 worth for their officials. We'll say we'll cover up to $2,500. You have to meet the rest of your needs. So we're making sure that even with their, even with this, they're covering as much as they can to get as many teams here, but it's not, we're not covering the whole thing for them. And with the low.
Understand that if this grant is given, that they cannot come back on an individual basis and expect this committee to issue another grant directly to them.
Yes, a lot of these organizations have, I know Bryan County Sports might have it once or twice in the past, but a lot of these organizations haven't because their expenses versus how much they bring in, I don't think they've ever tried to get the additional grant funding. But we can let them know, and if they say, okay, if that's the case, we don't want the grant at all, then we don't give them the grant. We can either give that portion of the money back to you guys, or however we need to do that.
Well, and I'm not trying to
No,
discourage
you're
from presenting another grant, but what I'm
But,
saying is
yeah.
that they are factored into this.
Okay.
This is a complete sports weekend package for the month of June.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's what, it will be marketed that way, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we'd be making a big mistake if we didn't do this. This is gonna bring in people that we've never had before. We'll bring them in, if this goes out right, this will bring in people maybe 2 or 3 times a year that we would have never had beforehand. Because once they come down here and see Durant and see what it has, they could come back on a vacation or 2 during the rest of the year too. So, I don't see anything but good out of this. I really don't.
If I might, Danny, I guess what you're saying is each one of these separate tournaments has their own profit and loss statements. You're looking at that, and we know what their profit and loss is and how much needs to be subsidized in order for them to be able to hold their events. Is that correct? Okay.
And at the end of the day, the $25K you're requesting is only 1/6 of the total project budget, right?
Now, the other question I would have is, in terms of other revenue sources for the organization that's coordinating all this, Do you have other expenses you gotta offset? I mean, I know you've got your own rugby tournament, but,
They've got weekend T-shirts, but that's, money that comes out of the entry fees, and then they can make a profit selling those. Last year I had a beer truck. Was able to get, and it worked out really good. I mean, and there was a little bit of a revenue share, but quite frankly, I gave that back to the little baby that was born right afterwards. Help me out. But so there's a few ways to do it, but really the only way to get extra revenue is more teams, and that's what we build in with the idea of the revenue share.
Sure.
Or the revenue help.
well, I think as long as you're collecting P&Ls on every one of these, and we're only subsidizing those that truly need to be subsidized, and we're not double dipping, which I think is a really great question. With that, Mr. Chairman, if there are no further questions or such, I'd make a motion to approve. This is a $25,000 special project, right? Not the grant.
I think, I appreciate you doing this. You could have picked anywhere else. You could put Denison, you could put Gainesville, you could put Ardmore. I thank you for coming down here because we need to use that more efficiently. It'll bring in a lot more sales tax and it'll help the city of Durant considerably.
Okay,
Okay, you will take the vote on it.
Well, just for clarity, this is a $25,000 special project,
Special
not a
project.
grant.
This will
So-
come out of the special project funding,
Right.
not the grant funding.
okay. Debbie, would you call the
Yes.
roll?
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brings us to B, Texas Cornhole League Championship event.
Hello.
Good afternoon. My name is Kelly Wells, and I'm the event director for Texas Cornhole League, formerly Texas Cornhole League. It's now TCL for when we travel outside the state. And have y'all played cornhole?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
All right. Well, Texas Cornhole League has been around for about 10 years, and we're the second largest cornhole organization in the country, next to ACL, which you've probably seen on ESPN. But it started out of the backyard of the owner, Chad Jacobson, at Texas Tech at one of the fraternity houses back when cornhole was still just something you did when you're having drinks or at the beach or reunion or whatever. And it's grown over the years. So again, the 6,000 members are made up, about 55% are from Texas. We're expanding into Louisiana, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. So again, our goal is not to go national, but to continue to own Texas and to own the shoulder states around our area. We've got 34 regional directors. We do about 850 events a year, and those 34 regional directors are spread out all over this 4-state area. We do 6 major, what we call signature series events annually. These draw anywhere from 12 to 1,600 competitors. The format is a Thursday evening, Friday all day and night, and Saturday all day and night. I'll actually be leaving here tomorrow, going to Lubbock. We're hosting our next event at the Lubbock Civic Center there. I'd heard about Durant through, of course, the Choctaw Casino, and of course I came here last year and just fell in love with the city. I saw the peanut, and my kids really love that, and so we wanted to choose a weekend where we could be a part of the unveiling or the date-driven area. So our event's going to be June the 13th through the 15th, which is also Father's Day weekend. The venue will be the Choctaw Casino venue, off-site venue, and so Thursday night is kind of a shoulder night. Everybody starts arriving, and again, this will be the league championship event. So out of 6,000, this is an invitational event. So the top 800 are selected. So it's more of like a Super Bowl event for them. They've been working all year to get to, and so we'll have about 400 competitors Thursday night, 800 on Friday, and then probably about 1,000 on Saturday. Again, it's one of our smaller events, but it's our championship event. And again, based on the venue size, it's something we really love to do. We again are partnering with the Choctaw, but we're also partnering. And before I left last year, I met with the Holiday Inn Express and the La Quinta and the Quality Inn, and we're going to need a ton of hotel rooms. So we've already got blocks with those 3 hotels, and I'm going to check out a couple more before I leave. Out of all those folks, about 98% of folks are coming here from outside the area. We do have a regional director that's probably about 45 miles from here, and it's not a really big organization for us, but so again, everybody's coming from outside the area. So it should have a really strong economic impact. It's people of all ages. We've got a 86-year-old woman who can kick my butt. Most of them can kick my butt, but it's also neat because we're seeing a lot younger. Our champion at our last event in Dallas in January was 15 years old. And so
I'm curious, do you have an age bracket with cornhole?
we've got about 7 different divisions. Thursday night's kind of an open mixed night, singles and doubles. Friday is all singles, and then Saturday is doubles. And so the open division is our pro division. And
Briefly, what is the payback on this without searching into it?
I think prize money was, I think it's $91,000 for the league championships. Not everybody gets paid, but out of that, most of the registration money that we receive goes back to the payout for that.
I noticed that your budget on the front page was showing $915,000. Is that for the total events leading up to this, or is that just for this one event? The succession of terms.
That's the overall budget for the year. Our goal on these big events is to break even. TCL generates most of its revenue from bag manufacture. We have 8 different bag manufacturers. So in order to play with TCL, you have to buy a set of sanctioned cornhole bags. And so these bags run about $110 a set. I've never looked inside them, but they'd have to have gold inside before I'd pay $110.
That leads me to my next question.
Yes, ma'am.
How will we be branded? If we do fund this, how will we be branded? How will you market it?
Sure. Well, one thing we want to do is, as soon as we will be in Waco in May, we would like to, once everything gets rolling, we want to get everything online. Since it's our league championship, it will be all roads lead to Durant, and basically that will be tied into our TCL championship logo. We need videos. If you've got a 30 or 40-second promotional video, that's something really good, to really, especially in new areas that we've not been to before, that really helps sell the destination. I mean, there's still the championship, so, to be strong on that end. We put banners and signage up. We do court number signage for each event, and so as the destination host, you'll get a lot of promotion. We definitely want to get visitor guides and restaurant guides and things like that out to our folks as they're arriving.
I'm going to get real specific. How will our logo be used, our brand?
Talking about Discover
Is that going
Durant.
to be, yeah.
Yes, it'll be tied into our TCL championship logo. So anything having to do with the TCL championships will have your logo on it.
Okay, that's what I was getting.
I'm sorry.
How will we be branded?
You said that you wanted to make this a home of the TCL League Championship. Where has your home been before this?
We were in Shreveport, Louisiana last year for the championships. We did do a smaller event here. Choctaw came on board as our title sponsor for our entire series last year. However, we created a new event. We call it the League of Championships for them, but they requested we did a Monday, Tuesday competition, and so it didn't work out really well.
Another question, you said that adding the Discover Durant to the TCL League Championship, so everything has to come through Durant. What does that mean?
Well, it's more of a marketing, like we'll be in Lubbock this weekend, so basically all roads lead to Durant. Everybody
So
wants.
you're saying everybody has to.
Yeah, the
come
goal of
through.
everybody competing all year long is to make it to the championships. With y'all hosting the championships, that'll kind of be the tagline that we use is all competitions lead to Durant.
And you've already got what she was asking for a while ago. You're adding the Discover Durant logo to all of your 78 plaques and other trophies that you award to the winners, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Yeah, we give out tons of plaques, and
tournament dates again.
June 13th through the 15th. So we have about 20 tournament staff that come in. Yeah, we were just talking about if y'all need some help with cornhole. I'd love to put you in touch with our regional director who make your life a lot easier on that.
How long has the community, the cornhole community, known that this tournament's taking place in Durant on those dates?
We, since I think last September, October.
Yeah, 'cause that's-
Because my first thought was, wow, this is coming right up, and you got 800 people you're gonna invite, but they already know about it. They're
Yes,
in
sir.
this direction. It's programmed in their thoughts, that, okay.
I can say this, they had it booked on the weekend of the Magnolia Festival, because somehow that had slipped their mind, that the Magnolia Festival was on that weekend, and they were kind enough to move their event so that we could stick with our scheduled dates that we have as well. So, I appreciate that. Now, I'm gonna talk about the elephant in the room.
That's what we have to talk about.
So how many competitors are you looking at having at this event?
On Thursday, 400. On Friday, 800. And on Saturday, 1,000.
It's good.
And are some of those dues, I mean, like the 400, are they staying Saturday?
Yes, yes. So you'll have a few, yes, most of them will carry over for those. The ones that are retired or can get off on the Thursday will come over, and most everybody will come in even though they're not competing, because we literally Friday morning we go on sale with our bags, so people will be lined up at 6:30 in the morning to pay $110 for whatever the newest bags are. So, and they won't know till Friday morning what time they play. So the doors will open up at 8, competition starts at 9. And so it's just some people, and a lot of our members are from Dallas area, San Antonio, Shreveport, and so,
For the 4-state area?
yes, sir.
And again, just because it takes a lot for us to understand things, your percentage that you are talking about, this is a double elimination tournament, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so the percentage that you're talking about from Thursday until the actual, and I believe that the championship finals are held on Saturday evening or Sunday evening?
We do, there's a championship actually each evening. For the open division, it'll be Thursday night. Singles championships will be Friday night, and then the doubles championships will be Saturday night. And those normally start about 9:30 or 10:30.
What is your guesstimation on the percentage of those numbers that will actually be staying over 1 to 2 nights?
I would say 97% are not from this area. Again, we've got a club that's 40 minutes from here, but I know there's 1 or 2 that are strong enough players to make it to the championship, but against an invitational event, so they won't get their invitation till our event in Waco in May, the first weekend in May. Now, some of them, if you've won a championship in the past, then you have already been invited. So it may be higher than that, but that's why we were talking so much about, you know, we need as many hotel rooms as we can get.
I think this tournament is going to bring a lot of people into the community that will be physically staying overnight, which helps us to generate that revenue that we need for the lodging tax. But we've got to talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is we are out of grant funding. Our grant funding was expended 2 meetings ago. So there's 2 or 3 ways. We can approve the grant, and then next month we could actually have it listed as an agenda item to amend the budget and put an additional amount in the budget for that. Is that correct? I mean, that.
It sure would have been nice for one thing to be changed. I know you can't do it now. With all this going in June, this should have been nice in July, but that's okay. You're bringing people into Durham.
I just want him to come. I don't care when you bring them. Jeff's gonna have a big rugby tournament for us in August, is that right, Jeff?
Good.
Oh, in July, okay.
Well,
That's
I wanted to give y'all kudos. We receive funding from the other cities that we go to, but y'all's is the most in-depth And again, we started talking last September. In fact, I think when I first looked at the application, it still had the 22-23 year. Getting all the financials and everything else, it was actually a good thing for TCL, just to run through the app, or the funding application. It really helped us out a lot. So your application from all the ones that I've seen is the most thorough, so that's good.
How much you get from the other towns, do you remember?
Lubbock is doing 25,000 for this weekend. We get 19,000 from Shreveport. We get 18,000 from Waco.
There's page 36 has that schedule.
There's a,
I'm curious, just one last question, but might not be a fair question, but we would like to be positioned so that in 25 we're in a good position for another round. Is that something feasible, or is this a one-time shot?
we're holding dates. We've signed 3-year agreements with all of our cities, and I ran the Shreveport Bossier Sports Commission, so I was listening to the sports festival, and y'all are right on with that. Grouping everything together and marketing it all together really helps out from that aspect. But we're holding dates for next June with the Choctaw. They will only book maybe a year or two out because they still don't know, I guess, what they're going to do with the venue. But so we love, Durant. We try to stay within a 2 to 3 hour area of Dallas. Thus Waco. We'll be in Lubbock, but we've got a large West Texas membership, so our people get tired of getting in the car and having to drive 68 hours, so we kind of brought it out to Lubbock for them. But our goal is to, again, you've got a great destination, it's very affordable. I know the hotel rooms, are kind of costly on the weekends, but Choctaw's been great. Your team at the Chamber's been phenomenal. The food's great around here. I've eaten at a couple of your cafes while I was here last June, and again, the casino's phenomenal as well. And so I think that, all those together really make something that y'all can continue to build on, and I just see y'all growing from here.
So are we gonna be able to approve this, or we're gonna have to wait till next month to approve it?
We can go to approve and then next month we can put it on the agenda. Now, you will have to understand that we've got to put that to a vote too. So that doesn't mean you have money in hand if it is approved at this time or point, because that will have to be brought up as a line item in next month's meeting.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, then I'll make a motion to approve this championship event for Texas Cornhole.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded, call the roll.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes.
Thank y'all very much. Appreciate you. And we could go ahead, I guess we can go ahead and start promoting everything, or do we need to? Or you can think about it. We'll talk later.
I would love for you to go ahead and promote it, but understand you don't have the check in your hand yet, so it's just a matter of.
Well, we're handshake people,
There you
so.
go.
Yeah.
I would love to be.
That's only got me in trouble a couple of
I'm
times.
sure you'll get a yes, though.
Yeah, you did.
It's wonderful amount too.
Awesome.
I believe
And I
it.
apologize
Yeah.
for.
Red
not having-
tape. in other
No, you're-
words.
And I believe everybody's in agreement, just looking, they're all in agreement.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all very much. Y'all
Thank you.
have a good evening.
Danny, I know we've already passed that motion, and I'm just wondering, I'm not a lawyer, don't practice law, but could we make a motion on that same agenda item to approve that financing it through the special projects budget?
Today,
In and
because
done.
it is that subject.
You're talking about subject to the money next month?
Kelly?
No, what I'm saying
Matter
is,
what?
we go ahead and
May wanna wait just a minute, Kelly.
and make another motion that states that we will, because it's germane to this item,
So it's on our agenda.
it's on the agenda. We finance the Durant Sports Festival out of special projects. It would be very consistent to say that we would finance Texas Cornhole League out of special projects.
We don't have any more money in special.
Okay, then, sorry. You can go now. Sorry.
No.
I was trying to
Yeah,
help you, but.
we were trying to get it started.
Okay, okay.
We could always hold a special meeting to accelerate things,
Yeah.
but that would require we all be on the same page about dates.
Right.
So what we're saying is mañana.
Well, I was gonna talk to the sports event festival folks, because I said anything we can do to help out, you know.
Oh, thank you.
So maybe we
That's
could have
awesome.
another
Yeah.
cornhole event during that week.
That's what
Well,
we thought.
we thank you for bringing it to Durant.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
If you're driving to Lubbock, be careful, it's a long way out there.
I decided I'm gonna leave in the morning.
Okay,
So,
good.
I'm gonna go eat some good food tonight here.
We've got some good hotel, just FYI.
Need a few more.
Yeah.
Four.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
Item 4, discuss management contract with the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce. It's,
I think we've always went out for bids before. You know, every year we bring out for bids, and I think this will be the same thing this year. You put it out for 30 or 60 days out into the public, like we've always done it, and go from there. And see if we get any more bids in besides the Chamber of Commerce.
This is the exact same contract after consulting with the attorney from last year. Jason, I called Jason and asked him to come visit. And this is the exact same contract that we signed with the revision clause in there. And that's on the very, I'm trying to find the contract.
I know, that's what I was.
Page 51,
It's towards the end of the packet.
59,
page 51,
51.
And Jim, I'm gonna have to rebut that because we never went out for bid
Not
on
for
the
bid.
Cloverleaf.
Oh, you're talking about the yearly contract we make for the management?
No, I'm talking about the yearly contract that you signed with the city. We did not go out for bid on that. And we asked the attorney specifically about that, and he said that we do not have to go out to bid on this. There is a revision clause in there.
You're talking about for the yearly contract on the management? You're not?
I'm talking about the city bid that was approved to do the Cloverleaf, the maintenance on the Cloverleaf
Yes,
for $120,000.
yes.
That was not put out for bid.
No, remember, we couldn't put out bids and it never got a solution, so there was never bids put out for the Cloverleaf project.
No, the bids did not have to be. There was a contract signed with the city
With the
on
city
that,
already.
and it did not go out for bid.
Yeah, because we knew that, I guess nobody else wanted to bid on that, right?
Mm.
But we've always put this out for bid as far as
No,
management.
We've never put it,
We've
not
been
for
only
the
entity
management,
that
no.
has ever-
It went straight from the city to the chamber.
I'm going to have to remind you that the last time that we did this, you insisted that we put it out for bid on 3 separate occasions. We did that. That's why this contract isn't due until February, because it was presented first in November. And when we put it out for bid the first time, you wanted to put it out for bid again in different areas. We did that. We were the only one that submitted a bid back. We did it a third time on your insistence to put it out for bid again. And there was not another bid that
Sure.
came in.
But
And
I-
those were conducted through the attorney's office.
But I don't see why we don't put it out for a bid every year like this.
Well, first of all, when you manage and have everything set up to do that, there is an internal expense that we can't afford to hang on for 3 to 4 months until we decide to get the bids back in.
What if this usually come up in May or June?
What if the contract was for a longer term than a year, so that those costs could be absorbed better by whoever wins the bid?
Again, those dates are not, that's what the blank portion of the contract is.
Mm-hmm.
And they can be extended for any length of time. That's what the attorney said,
Mhm.
that Jason had told us that if we wanted it for 5 years and it was voted on, it could be extended for that length of time.
So technically speaking, there's nothing stopping us from having a competitive process. Something similar to like an RFP, like we've done in the past. I know it's not your preference. I'm just saying, there's no reason we
No,
can't do
no,
it.
we-
No,
yeah,
not
yeah.
that I know of.
Right.
no.
As I recall, we did,
As I
and
stated,
we requested bids and
Nobody.
we did not get one.
that's what I was trying to clarify.
Mhm.
We put it out 3 different times for bid,
Mhm.
and we were the only one on all 3 occasions that made a bid on it.
Okay.
Well,
I,
what would be the hurry on that, putting it out for 1 bid this time instead of 3?
Because I'm not gonna put my staff through having to manage this for 3 months without knowing that we are going to continue with the
That's what I
contract.
was
Why can't you put the bid out
Who's
for?
gonna take care of all that in the interim of,
Why don't you
When
put
is
the bid
current-
out for a
when-
month?
When is the current contract?
Pardon?
When is the current contract?
This
Uh,
month.
Is that this month?
The original contract was submitted, when this was done 2 years ago, was submitted in November. And it was postponed because
the bid.
the bids, they wanted it to go out for bid again. So we sent it out for bid again. We specifically put those places that were requested that we sent them to. And then they were brought back in the next month. I think there was a month that we did not have a quorum, to be honest with you, Danny, in one of those months. We'd have to go back and look. December, we didn't meet. January, the same thing. We put it out for bid again. Again, it comes back. We were the only one that turned in a bid proposal on it.
I don't see the hurry. I'd say that 1 month, putting it out for 1 month on the bid would find out if we had anybody out there or not. 1 month's not gonna make any difference.
Here's what's informing my kind of thinking on this is I'm aware of organizations in town that would be interested in bidding. That's really it. I'm kind of wary about the idea of just going ahead and re-upping without making it the same kind of competitive process. And I know that in the past it was only 1 bid and it was the chamber. I get that. But if it could be a competitive process or would be, it seems more appropriate in my mind.
Does me too.
Let me ask this, is the trustees, the board of trustees, are you unhappy with the way that
Nope.
the management has been handled to this point?
No, not at all. Really just honestly in the interest of transparency and competitive bids, and I know this is a services contract, so it doesn't have to be an RFP. I get that. I'm just thinking that in the interest of it being a more open process, I think that might be more appropriate.
And I think we'd be more above reproach if we did that.
Then the question I ask again is why did we not bid the contract out for the Clover League?
The reason we did, we had a discussion about that, and they said there was nobody out there to do that. They looked at a couple of lawn people, and I think the Parks and Recreation guy was here at the time, and nobody wanted it besides that. We'd brought that up in a couple of meetings.
All I'm saying is that the chamber cannot put in the man hours that are presently put in on this without some type of assurance that we're going to get paid for that.
Paid
I
for that
don't
month
think-
or 2 months?
I don't think it'd be any question, we would have, if the contract is up this month, I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't keep paying you, I mean, just on a per month basis.
Surely we can put it out for bid for 1 month. I mean, it's not like the end of the world.
I don't think
I
this
will
board would
abstain
expect you.
I will abstain from any vote on this. I don't feel that I can vote on it anyway.
I
And
mean,
it's strictly up to
but,
the
yeah,
trustee.
I am aware of the other organization that is interested in doing this, and in the past, we haven't had anybody interested in doing it, and I'm not unhappy with the chamber.
Well, I'm
And
not
that's
either.
not, and that's not to predict outcome either. Whoever has the best proposal wins is anything, but the idea of locking it down, you know what I mean, just doesn't seem right.
It's not above reproach. I make a motion, we put it out for a bid. The chamber's done good, but I make a motion to put it out for bid, and if somebody else comes in, I think it's only fair for this committee to do that. We've always put it out for bid on this for the last few years, and the chamber's always got it.
This has only gone out for bid one time.
Mhm.
We bid when it's $75,000 too.
Well, I mean, just like, let's play that out though. Like, okay, let's say we just go ahead and renew the contract as pursuant to the agenda item. And we do that next time, we do that next time until we're unsatisfied, or will there be a point, at a certain point at which we would open it for bid? You know what I mean? To allow other comers to at least have the opportunity to compete for it. And so, kind of my thinking is, why not now?
Again, I'll make a motion to put it out for bid. I think it's only fair.
If I might. I believe the contract expires the end of this month. So I wonder if there is a way, because then what obligation does this trust have to chamber in order to compensate them for a month or 2 more months? I mean, we're out of contract, essentially.
They will be they have to be compensated. We're not going to have the bids out and say they're not
Well, that's
getting
what a
paid.
contract's for, though, a promise to pay somebody if we don't have a contract.
But I wonder if we extend the contract for 60 days.
Yeah.
We extend the contract for 60 days as it is. Within that 60-day period, they do an RFP, and then we have a chance to review that.
Or any reasonable time period,
It-
90 days.
Even, yeah, it could be more than that. I don't think it would take that long.
Right.
But,
If it's 60 or 90 days, I'm fine, as long as we put it up for bid then, so that'll be fine.
so
So you wanna
you've got a
look-
motion on the floor, but I don't know, is 90 days make sense?
I think 90 days
That'd be fine.
probably-
It gives enough cushion.
I mean, I think you have to, you gotta advertise, you gotta.
So I'll make a motion, I'll take that one back, I'll make a motion that we will extend the contract to the Chamber of Commerce for 90 days and put it out for bid during that time. And that way they're paid on that. If somebody else comes around, let them bid. If they don't, that's fine too. That's only fair. But that way they get paid these next 3 months. So I'll make a motion on that.
So we've got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, David, call the roll.
Trustee Anthony, I'm gonna abstain. Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Green, abstain.
Abstain.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt?
I'm abstaining as well.
Chairman Shu?
Yes. So,
So pass it.
we had three abstains and 3 yes, so that pass.
Normal parliamentary procedure would say it passes, but I don't know if this board has different rules.
Okay.
We are vacated 1 member right now, so that means there's actually 7 that sits on the board. Normally, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's the chairperson that would vote to break that, and we have it's 3 abstain and 3.
Right, but
Yes.
abstentions aren't no's. So it'd be a majority of the yeses and no's of a quorum having body. We have a quorum, and the majority of yeses versus no's is yeses.
So it would pass.
How is that a
That's
quorum?
my thinking. I'm not trying to.
How is that a quorum?
We have a quorum because we have a quorum. We have enough voting members to have one. But abstentions don't mean you're not present. It just means you're not
I'm
voting.
sorry, a quorum of the vote.
You don't need
The quorum of the people here.
You just need a quorum present. But abstentions don't count as no's. There's a temptation to think an abstention is the same thing as a no, but really they don't count at all in the tally. So you got 3 yeses and no no's, of which a majority wins.
I'm not questioning.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
okay, all right. Just wanted to clarify that.
I think it was a good idea that you had 90 days.
I can't accept the 90 days until I take it back to my executive committee and my board of directors.
Okay? Number 5.
Item 5, hiring CPA and audit service.
Again,
Grace?
we've had no
I was gonna say
one,
that's another problem.
I
Nobody
think-
wants to do that
I
either.
think we, seemed like I was told that they normally don't bid on these, that entities just hire somebody.
Tax, see people that don't want to take anything else.
Would it be good to hire somebody outside of Durant? That way, there would be no reason for anybody to think it was favoritism to any CPA person inside of Durant.
it doesn't matter, we've had no response to the OML or to any of the individuals. There's been no response. We have
Even from
received
Durant?
nothing in, nothing.
Nowhere. We posted on the state site
Wow.
on OML and no responses.
Is the solution to just offer to pay above normal rate in order to get attention?
What I have been told is most accountants, auditors are different, but most accountants are hired. They do not give you an RFP.
Is there any way we could get in touch? I know we have the account outside the city now. Beforehand, we always had the account inside the city government, and the person that came down from Oklahoma City and did the audit for the city also did an audit for us. So I'm asking, do you think that one of us or the management company could get in touch with the person that's doing the audit for the city, and while he's down here doing that, he could do the audit for us? Could it be asked?
And Chin did not seem to think that that was an answer, because if you asked that before. We went to Ann and we visited with her, and she did not seem to think that that was a solution for us.
But it wouldn't be Ann's decision if we, say the management company called the auditor up or the CPA up that was doing this for the city. Surely he might be able to go ahead and do our audit too while he's down here doing that.
I wouldn't want to step on Ann Chin's toes if she didn't think it was a good idea, in my opinion, but it's my opinion.
I've got a question. We're talking about two different things. We're talking about a CPA to take care of the books, and then an audit, which is something totally different. They've attempted to get bids and have not got any. Don't think there's anything we can do today, but could we, as a board of trustees, entertain letters of engagement if we get a firm interested in serving as a CPA? They typically will provide a letter of engagement. This is the scope of our services and this is the cost. And even if there's just one, then so be it, that's what it is. And then the auditor's a totally different animal, and I'm not sure it has to happen real fast, but again, solicit letters of engagement rather than proposals. Tell me what you're gonna do for us, and see if we can gather those up. We may get zero interest, but at least they're familiar with terms like letters of engagement, and we start just focusing on the CPA side first. Don't know if it makes sense or not, but it's a thought.
But, you know, from what, we're really supposed to get this thing audited once a year. That's on the city and ours too, that we are supposed to be this audited once every year.
While the city was handling the money, it was audited by city.
Yeah.
Right? But this is the first year that
Yeah.
we've been on our own.
Yeah, it just make me nervous if we don't get this audited, because, you know, that's our responsibility. We're gonna have to do something to get this thing audited, if we're gonna be in compliance with what the city's doing. And we're underneath the city, and the city's gonna probably sit and talk to us too on why you didn't get this audited. So, you know, we're still underneath the city council.
That looks to me like, just, OML, say who's it.
We've already, it was submitted to OML.
Okay, well, maybe we just need to pick pick up some names and, approach them, say, hey, we need an audit. Will you do it?
Who's gonna hire that auditor?
Well, we can, I guess, but, I mean, the management needs to pick a firm, an auditor, and, now I guess you have to bring it to us to approve it.
When is our fiscal year end?
Our fiscal year ends June 30.
June 30. So, the city was still in charge of our finances last fiscal year.
Yes, we don't
We
have to
actually
worry
have
about
until
June
June 30.
We have to June, I mean, they can't audit it till after June, right?
Well, the trust shall cause to be prepared annually at the close of each fiscal year,
Yeah.
which for us is June. So that's why I say nibble at the CPA thing first and see, you know, if we can get somebody to do that. And then, so separate the issues and go from there. I don't know. Janet, what are your thoughts?
They're really, if you are gonna go with a management contract, whomever is managing can do the accounting. It's very simplified, there's one account, it's a debit and a credit, there are no tax payrolls. It's a very simplified bookkeeping method. My suggestion would be that we concentrate more on the auditor than we do anything else, because that is stated in the trust, and we have to have that. And I would suggest that we hire somebody that is qualified. I don't think it has to be out of the city of Durant or the state in order for us to get a clean audit. An auditor is under restriction of law, just like our trust is, and they are going to audit the books that we give them.
My suggestion is a little bit different. They tell us to get it audited every year. I think this is one that we have the city council that is over all authorities and all committees. And so I think this should be brought up to the city of Durant. And whatever they tell us to do, whether it's a CPA or whatever, we will be in compliance, because now we're going to the city council and they will make a decision if we can just get somebody to audit or it has to be a CPA. And I think it should be the decision of the city council to tell us which way to do, and that way we cover ourselves.
That's not what our trust reads.
And I think you missed out on an important part that we'll discuss. Because we don't have to be audited till our fiscal year ends in June.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, they can't even do it right now, I mean, because the year's not ended, it'll be incomplete.
Right. So might I suggest that we ask the management company to seek letters of engagement for potential auditors? And I'm fine with that. I think, Janet, you're right. I mean, it's not complicated books. And then whatever you get in terms of letters of engagement, then we'll put it on the agenda for next month. Again, we don't have to have these until probably July, August, but we need to be thinking about getting somebody.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, then if the auditor says, hey, your books are a mess, he needs some help, then we can look at getting a CPA. But if he says, if they say, if the auditor says it looks good, you know, I mean, typically if they see that there's a problem or an area that needs a little work, they will mention that in the audit. So, I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't think at this point, I don't see why.
It should be pretty simple, but I'm just saying, I would like to be underneath the city council and get their opinion, because if we have it done this way, and we go and ask a couple of them and say, what do you think? They'll be coming up in front of the city council because we're under y'all's authority.
No, but if we do get audited after our fiscal year, we haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah, and I don't see any problem. I know they do a good job, but what I'm saying is that we're still on this city council, and I still would like to have a CPA audited. If the city council tells her no, you just get a management company to do it, I'm fine.
Well, no. I mean, you say two things. CPA. I think all auditors are probably CPAs.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
No, I don't think we need to hire an accounting firm.
No.
No more than what we got unless we're told that we need, budgets are in order.
Again, I'm gonna remind you that the contract that we stated did not, we have been doing that out of courtesy. It was not included because at that time, we were totally under the city.
Mm. Hmm.
So when the city got audited, so did we, right? Basically,
They will audit
because they
for
were audited
the
them, but
22,
they were in
23
all of
year.
our books.
Right, but when we moved the account, then we took responsibility of the funds that were being dispersed. And that was not done until July, and the contract, our management contract, was signed prior to that, a year prior to that.
So there's no way we can wait a month and come to the city council and let's all decide which way we need to do it.
Well, one, the year's not over with yet, so they can't be audited.
Jim, this is not something that we need to take to the city council. That's why we have a trust.
We're separate. We're separate from council. Hmm?
And we trust.
No, we're separate.
Yeah, I mean, we are. We have our own separate indenture. We use the city facility. That's pretty much the extent of it,
Yeah.
for our meetings.
I would think if I were the city, and I maybe shouldn't say it, if I were the city and you came to me and said, hey, would you take a look at our books, I would say, I have no control over your books. I don't
Yeah.
want to, I have
That-
no
that's
control,
what they
no
would say.
responsibility, no authority. Go do your own thing would be my thought. Because we're not part of the total process, so.
So what would be even better is if we get an opinion from the attorney we have, and then he's responsible for what he says and what we could do. We can get that tomorrow. And then we're underneath his
I
opinion.
don't understand what you're wanting now.
It'd be simple. You got an attorney out there, so use it. It's good to have, if somebody comes back
Well,
and says
he
anything,
tell us
we're
when he
underneath,
thinks
we get what he
something-
said in his opinion.
So you want a legal opinion as to whether or not
Yes,
we
yes, sir.
need an accounting firm?
I want a legal opinion on what he thinks about an audit or whatever, yes. I like to have an opinion.
He's the one that told us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
I
there's
thought
no
I
question
stated
that
that
There's no question that we have to be audited. But, I mean,
And when you get an opinion from our attorney, we need to get writing.
as to whether or not we need an accounting firm or as to whether or not it's okay for the management company to do the accounting
And
for
that's what we need from the attorney, and we need it in writing.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't either. Cover
Well,
it.
he's already.
Okay, I'm unclear what you're wanting from the attorney. An opinion on,
Whether we should use a CPA for audit or a management company like you said.
No.
No. You can't use a management company for an
Can't
audit.
use a management company for an audit. No, an audit is completely separate, okay?
You bet.
Okay? We're talking about the accounting process. Whether or not the management company is okay
Depending
with
on
doing
who
the
that party
accounting?
is, but-
Or do you want to spend the money to let somebody else do that work? And then, at the end of the year, you take that work, the books, and you have them audited by someone separate.
And
That's not the, that's
But I
not
was
the
still-
accounting firm that, or that's not the management company.
Exactly right. I still assume having our lawyer's opinion and having it in writing, and then go whichever, whatever you wanna do.
I
I'm-
think,
I'm
I
not
think he's
sure
gonna tell you,
what
we
you're
have to
right.
have an, I think he's gonna tell you, we have to have an audit, we're required to have an audit.
it
I don't
states
think we're-
that in our trust, we have to have an audit.
Yeah.
It
And-
states
What do you
that in
want
the
from
trust.
attorney exactly? I'm really lost, I'm not
I mean,
arguing, I don't know what you want from me.
The only question I see is, do we need an official CPA No, that's BCB. Do we need a separate accounting firm to handle the books, or can the management company handle the books?
Well, let's circle back to what Scott said in the beginning. We solicit, you know, it's not an RFP or anything like that, but we just solicit possible agreements with different firms and choose from among them. That's simple.
I mean, but.
For the auditing.
For the
audit.
audit.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I don't think there's any, I don't think there's any.
There's no
any
question about it.
need to address having an accounting firm take care of the books unless the auditor says, you need some help here, you're not doing it right.
I think that,
I agree with him over there.
I think the agenda item is broad enough in scope because it talks about CPA and audit services. I'd like to make a motion that we, through the management company, request letters of engagement for auditing the books of the trust.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. Gabriel, would you call a roll?
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
I think I need to abstain on this one.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Dewalt?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes. Okay. Number 6, our vacancy created by passing of Mr. Calhoun. And Mr. Calhoun represented the Hotel Association.
I guess that has to do with me. So what I did last week, just to give you some background, last week I tried to get hold of Nina Patel. They had the Holiday Inn, and I guess this one that's down right here, and I called in. And she never gave me a call back, so I went down this morning, and we called a meeting at 12:30, but when I went down this morning and asked her, do you want to be on the board again? She said, no. I said, what about Raj? And they said, no. And I said, I'm looking at giving Andy Patel from the O'Connell Lodge on it. And she said, that'll be fine. She said, you know, I've got a manager, but she said, that'll be fine. So I went back to them. So we had a meeting this morning and had Andy over there, and they had 3 of us. So that took care of all the hotels in town. And we decided to vote him in as a 3rd hotel.
Not voting
person.
in, nominating.
Well, I mean, we voted for him, and I know it's got to be approved, but what it is we got him,
No.
and where he will
Determined
be
that
here.
he was okay to
Yeah,
nominate.
he'll be here next,
Mhm.
meeting and get.
A con lodge is not in operation. If you go to the website, it says that they are no longer open. You call,
Because he turned into an express inn, so it's a hotel. He's still in business. If you don't believe me, go over and ask him if he's in business. I'm sure he'd get very upset.
I'm not questioning whether they're in business. I'm just telling you what's on the website.
I know, but he's a hotel owner, and he's still in business, and we can ask him.
That's not, the city council's gonna be asking us the problem, and that's what we need to think about. Can he please give us what his next step is to staying a hotel or an express inn or?
Scott, do you have the
If I think
trust
you come up
there?
against him,
Have you got your
take my
notebook?
notice down and
Would
go
you
get
please
his
look under the
national-
hotel association?
I'm not saying that.
Dude,
I didn't bring it to my mind till she said that if he's not operational, because it brought to my head, my front desk called over there to ask about a room for somebody, and they said, not online, we are not in business, but you can walk in here and get a room.
As part of our management contract, we check hotels. Grace physically has been checking them to make sure to see how many glasses that they need for the solar eclipse. They are not listed as a hotel. They are not on the website, and there is not a number that answers when you call. Grace, is that correct?
I have looked at the online listing and they are not active and there is no phone number active. All we have is their history of that, but.
But you're telling me you won't do it online, but if you come in, he'll let you check in, and that's still a hotel.
Chairman. Trustee Thorpe, will you use your microphone, please, so we can hear you?
What?
Can you use your microphone, please?
Yes,
Thank you.
You loud.
I just said that.
That-
he
Turn
might
it
be-
A little
Jim,
closer.
Jim, turn it toward you, and then the green light needs to be on.
Okay, he might be not taking them in online, but if he says come in and to check in, that is still a hotel. And if he's checking in people to a motel, then it's a hotel. I don't see how y'all can get away with it.
Well, I mean, I have the question, I mean.
I'm not
The
questioning.
seat is, whoever the hotel association chooses, they don't necessarily have to be a hotel operator, do they?
Nope.
To be on the seat, I mean.
I don't think that's the
it's
way
just
the
someone
trust.
that the hotel
reads.
association chooses? Is that?
We have it where the hotel association chooses a person that they want to be on the board.
Okay, it doesn't say that they have to be an operator or owner of the
No,
hotel?
sure, you might be right.
I don't know.
I don't know, that's why I'm.
Scott has the trust with him, and he's looking at it.
3 members of the Durant Hotel owners or their designees.
They're designated.
Designate, okay.
And if you don't like who we choose, then we can bring him up here next, meeting, and we can have this on there, and then you ask him if he's still a motel owner, and if he's still checking people in, and I think he's gonna be very upset.
Who does the choosing of this seat? I mean, who does the nominating?
I nominated
said-
him.
you said yes.
And she agreed, and he agreed.
That's fine.
We all agreed that
Okay.
he'd be fine.
So the hotel owners are the ones.
Agreed on him, and that's how it's supposed to be in his contract. And
I don't have any problem with Mr. Patel at all. I think he's a nice person. I'm just telling you what we found.
I understand, but you also found, like she said, that if you come in, he checks you in. Well, if he's not a hotel, he's gonna say, no, I'm not checking you in.
The,
Get him up here. If y'all want-
For the record,
next-
For the record, basically, what you're saying, Jim, is he is in the process of changing names for the hotel.
That's what it looks to me. He's
Okay.
changed his name.
I mean,
And he's still checking people in if they drive in. So, I don't know what y'all,
It's a big point as to whether or not he owns a motel or has run a motel or has ever stepped foot in a motel.
Right. We voted him in.
If the hotel owners, if the hotel people nominated somebody, I
we
mean,
did, and we all agreed.
I don't
And,
think, it's a big,
And that's in the proposition that we gave the people, 4 or 5 years
Well,
ago.
the city has a vote on it, so we don't even need to argue about it. If they don't approve it, then,
Okay. If that's their choice, then what we need to do is put that on as a line item next time for this trustees to vote on. And then if we vote to accept him, which I don't see any problem, then we will have to take it to city council, and the city council does have to approve it. They're gonna do it as an item, I'm sure, like they do, and it will not go before
Yeah.
public
When you
view
got
or
on, did you
anything.
do all
it'd be a
this?
Consent agenda.
item.
When you got on, did you have to go for us to get okay, and then go to the
no,
city council?
I was interested, and then y'all had to vote on me, and
If you remember, we followed the instruction of the city manager when Debbie came on.
Yeah, did you, I don't remember voting on him when he came on and bringing him.
I don't believe you have to if you look at the trust. What does it say? Does the city council approve every one of them?
all appointments of successor trustees shall be confirmed by majority vote by the members of the governing body of the city of Durant, Oklahoma, and Bryan County, the beneficiary.
And it would
Each
probably be
successor in each office shall, without any further act, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, all appointments of successor trustees shall be confirmed by majority vote by the members of the governing body of the city of Durant, Oklahoma, and Bryan County, the beneficiary.
And Jim, as I stated, that's not something, as Danny will tell you, that is gonna be listed as an agenda item.
It'll be done under consent item.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, did we vote on you to come on the board?
That's what I'm saying. We did it under the instruction of the city manager at that time. I'm assuming he got the vote that was needed because they said all that needs to be done the same way with Debbie.
Who
Did you
not?
ever vote on him at city council?
I'm sure we did. It was under consent. We didn't do it, it wasn't a
Wow.
separate item. It was under consent.
It's like the appointment to the utility authority, to any of the major trusts that they have within the city.
Any of the boards, it'll be listed.
I mean,
As
to be
line-
clear, a
line
consent item is an agenda item. It's just one that gets folded in as a lump vote, but,
Right.
and can be removed from consent
Yeah,
and become a
if-
separate
if
item.
the council member has a question,
Yeah.
doesn't like Billy Bob, and doesn't want, or has some questions about Billy Bob, then he or she can pull that from the consent and we could have a discussion and a separate vote on it.
Well, I
That
understand that.
seldom happens.
Yeah, I understand that. I was just asking him and both of them, did you, I don't remember voting on you when he came on board and the city council either. We didn't- I don't
At
think-
that particular time, Jim, Cindy was the one that was taking the minutes, and we had a city manager that was attending every meeting we had.
Yeah.
I don't know who nominated, I don't know who nominated.
The
Scott.
individuals,
If that
it's
works
just
for
like
me, that's
Jim.
fine. I'm just saying that we should have been like doing this for, in the past, that we shouldn't be changing this up. Just all of a sudden somebody
I
from-
don't even know.
We have been, that's what I'm trying to say.
I don't remember voting on him.
We clearly voted on him, and it's in the minutes.
I want to see him.
All you have to
Well,
do
and then
is
we
go to the
Voted on
website
him to be the vice chair,
and look in
too.
the back
Voted on that,
and
too.
just take your little cursor and punch on the link, and it will have the minutes, it will have the agenda, and it will also have a recorded video on there as well.
Well, if we did that for him, then I'm fine with this.
We did it
Well,
for
we keep
Debbie
all
as
the same.
well. We did it for Debbie as well.
Good. We did-
The only other, I'm sorry, go ahead. No, I just was gonna point out, because I think it's important, when you prepare the next agenda, that whomever it is that is appointed and elected, they are elected to serve the remainder
Yeah.
of Calhoun's term,
Yeah.
however long that may be, so you may need to go look at that.
So we just need to put it up next month and have it here for we, right? On the other board member from the hotel.
Okay.
So,
What
y'all
is-
will put that on the agenda next.
What is
month,
his
right?
name, Jim? What's his name? His first name?
What's his name?
Andy
And
What's his last name?
Petzel. As far as I know.
Okay.
It's not Conowatch anymore, it's Express him, he changed his name. He went independent, is what he did.
Okay, and you're not gonna like the next one, but the attorney also says that we have to have listed the year that each one of the hotel members are serving, because you rotate in and out. And so that needs to be also listed, what year everyone is serving on. And that's not clarified in any of the minutes.
We've had meetings every year, and that's the only one that wanted to be on, that's why they're still on like that. It wasn't like that.
Well, he didn't say you couldn't reappoint yourself. All he said is that they needed to be listed as to the staggering of them. I believe it's 2, 3, and
4,
4 years.
yes, sir.
So,
We have no problem with that.
and for the record, the attorney will be able to be here in April, because there are 5 weeks, 5 Tuesdays in that month, and he's available that Tuesday. He has another meeting that conflicts with this,
He has a meeting when now?
that conflicts with this.
So do we consider table number 6, so it'll be on next month's agenda?
No, you have to nominate the person, which is Mr. Dteda,
Okay. I didn't know.
I think.
Okay, so we need to nominate him so we can get him on the agenda to vote for him.
Is that correct,
I
Mike?
mean, is he already the choice of the hotel association and that's already been decided?
Yeah.
Then fine, yeah. As long as that's already been done, I think, then,
Sure.
yeah.
We have a nomination? Let me
We
do
need
it.
a motion on that?
I think just a nomination more than
If you want a
anything.
motion, we'll make a
Okay,
motion that the hotel owners,
You want to nominate Mr. Patel to be,
Andy Patel. The board, the hotel board unanimously voted him as the next board member.
okay, so we'll put that on the agenda for next meeting.
Okay.
Vote on. We can't vote on this meeting, right? That's
Can't vote on him.
not on the agenda, I mean, even though
Yeah,
items
it just
on
says
there-
discuss, it doesn't say approve anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
yeah.
So his name is in a
Okay.
nomination.
Number 7. Let's talk about the approval of the billboard artwork by the authority before being published or put up, or,
I think maybe published was a poor choice of wording on that, maybe before it was hung.
Do we have a billboard being changed right now?
do you have any artwork
No.
coming up?
Not in the works. The current billboard will be up till April 8th, which is the eclipse.
I think it's good. It's always good. I know y'all are the management company, but it's good to come back and get the artwork and things approved. I don't remember, I know that's an excellent sign up there for, what is it, April 8th or 9th for this, and it's up on the billboard. Did we pay for that, or did the man that is doing this pay for it? On that
What
billboard?
man?
What man? What man on this thing?
What man?
No, I'm talking about on the billboard on the highway.
Oh,
Have you
oh,
seen
oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I saw it.
Him as well.
Coming north from
No,
Texas.
I was
saw it.
confused about what man you were talking about.
I'm talking
That's when you
about
yell
the
at this,
billboard
I
that
did-
is-
We are in contract, with the company, and the company is the one that changes the billboard, but they do so under the instruction of your management company.
Okay.
Do you
Does
provide the
that answer your
graphics?
question?
I understand that, but usually it comes before the board and they approve the artwork for it, and I don't remember it ever coming before the board before we put that up.
I don't think we've ever had any billboards approved. And we also have a lot of artwork that we go through weekly
I don't
even,
think it was
of
changed
graphics
quick enough.
going out, so.
I think if you look at the RFP
So you're
original,
Saying the management does all the artwork and all the
Yes.
advertising on their own without the approval of the board, is what you're saying?
As far as billboards, yes, that's our job is to publish those things, and we are,
And the advertising on television
yes.
without the approval of the board.
You see the commercials. The
Yeah, we
commercials have all been
approved all
approved.
of
Have to, have to do that, yeah.
If I might, Mr. Chairman, and with all due respect, I don't mean to step on anybody's toes, but I think this is borderline micromanagement to sit there and say, we need to approve every sign, billboard and such. I don't know that we even have the time and wherewithal to do that, so.
Yeah, it would be out of line compared to other organizations too. A frequent courtesy FYI of what's in
That's fine.
process, something to fold into the packet is one thing, but individual approvals would be over the top.
Yeah.
But it could be in the packet every month showing what's gonna happen with that billboard or whatever, right?
In generalities, but maybe not every single specific thing that's being done to market the organization.
But it
Yeah.
will be in there showing what.
But we don't know, because we don't know who our management company's gonna be, so we'll be.
I think that most of those, if you'll look back, there again, I'm going to refer to the packets that are online, that those are included. In this one was not specifically, because if I remember correctly, you asked us to be prompt in getting the holiday one down and something up to replace it. And that was the goal that we had with
I don't
this
remember that
billboard.
one, but I remember you putting that ad on television with Discover Durant. and you had a limited amount of time putting that on Discover Direct, and we said, go ahead and do it. We did do that. The advertising was done on Discover Direct.
I think he's talking about the holiday commercial, possibly, that needed to go out quickly.
But I'm making reference to what we're discussing, and that's the billboards. You did want that billboard.
I would be, as far as us, looking at it, he's probably right. We don't need it where we have to vote on it, but it'd be good where you're gonna change it out or do something the next month. It would be good to have it on the monthly deal of showing us what's gonna be coming next.
The
On
artwork.
billboards and even on the television commercials and stuff too. It'd just be good to be kept updated on
The artwork, correct?
the artwork or what the advertising will be on television. It'd just be good to be heads up to where we know what's going on.
There again, I think that has been done.
Okay.
I think time factor, yeah, if you got time to get it on the agenda or under new business, if you got the artwork for a new deal, say, oh, this is what's coming out.
Actually, it's just an informational item,
Yeah.
and it's normally included in our report
Okay.
and attached to the
Yeah.
report.
I just-
As I said, you had personally requested that we get the holiday board down and get something up quickly, and that was actually the rush in trying to get that done.
Quickly, so a sign place is usually between 4 or 5 to 8 weeks to get it up. But we have time, go ahead. That'll be fine. We just need a heads up on it. Around it.
If you got it, all the changes are gonna be made, got time to put it in the information, I think that's just courtesy, but, I don't think we need to, time factor, be delayed by 8 weeks or more if we have to approve it.
Yeah, I don't-
Yes, that would be
I don't see-
impractical.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Number 8, the fall concert series budget.
Yeah, we do. There's a motion on the floor.
Is there a motion?
You made the motion, didn't you?
No?
Okay, I
No,
thought you made a
no.
motion, Scott.
No.
I apologize. But yes, it does need to be, something needs to be done. Because
Well-
if not, we were gonna leave it on there.
Then I would make a motion to postpone indefinitely, which would take it off of the agenda next month.
Seconded.
Okay,
Okay.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Reedy?
yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Thank you.
Vice Chairman Lee Walton?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes. Okay, that brings us to, item 8, the fall concert series budget. Discussion.
It's was it $125,000 last year?
No.
Was it?
It was 150.
Really?
Grace, do you have the data, the hits that we had with that, those stats
As far as
from last year's concert? We had published those in one of the minutes, I know.
I'm not sure which stats
The
you're talking about.
Facebook hits and so forth that we got
They
on
would
it.
be in those packets as far as how the things went up. If you recall, I had the website data from when I had those on the website, and just how good DiscoverDurant.com was doing at the time of the concerts.
Now, we have 2 concerts, right?
4.
I know we're discussing it today, who are the 2 bands coming in this fall?
We can't hire them until you approve the money.
Yeah, what?
We can't hire them, we can't find the bands until we have the money in the budget to do so.
Well, who are your prospects that you're gonna hire?
We haven't been able to work on that because we don't have the money.
Okay.
The management firm, which is Overdrive Entertainment, is the one that does the scheduling of the artist.
And that being said, if you don't, anybody talk to Tip, if 150,000 is still gonna be enough to get us quality entertainment, as Jim wants a lot better quality entertainment.
If we are
Should we
going
up-
to, if we are
No,
going
he
to,
wants better, bigger entertainment.
if we are going to secure a larger name, then we're gonna have to pay more money. That's the bottom line.
So, doing the 150,000 will get somebody within 30-mile circumference, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping
Split it
that,
up. I mean, we're talking about, we're not talking about how many, I mean, I guess that's to be open for approval too, how many concerts we're gonna have as to how much money we're gonna spend. I mean, we started out.
I'm only on
six.
retainer for 90 days,
Okay.
or the chamber is, so
I mean, we
this
start-
may be completely out of our hands.
Well, I mean, the first time we did 6, and then it was decided.
The first
that
time we did,
spend a little more
yes.
money to get bigger names and fewer concerts.
and cut the 2 weeks out of it. We had a 6-week series, the first one.
We wanted somebody that would come in here and pull them from Dallas, Fort Worth, Tulsa, Oklahoma City.
Well,
Well,
that's
we
why
did
I
the
was
first one.
hoping that, and as Grace said, those are listed, but on the information we have, it actually shows where the pool was coming from. That the demographics, it had those things listed after the concert series last year. That would have been in the November packet, more than likely,
Mhm.
or the October packet.
Now, when we had 6, we were just pulling from this area because we had to have a smaller name come in. With the 2 concerts, it should pull from 70, 80, 90.
We've actually been able to pull outside of our market for the last, ever since we've started the concert. But we had a larger pool from outside of a 50 to 60 mile radius from
The 2,
the last 2, which were just have been 4-week series.
and that's what we wanted.
But if we are going to get a stronger names, and I'm saying that because just because I don't recognize their name does not mean that they are not. Red Dirt definitely pulls, but we also found out that the Shiny Ribs, they are a more of a,
folk and rock also.
yeah,
are
folk
pulling.
rock, jazz even,
Folk,
and
if I
they,
had internet, I'd tell you, they just won an award. I can't think of his name. They
that's-
just won an award, not a Grammy, was Grammy?
I think it was the
weekend.
Grammy,
Okay.
because I was
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah.
I think it was the
I'd never
Grammy.
heard of them, but
I'd
they were
never-
the best,
I'd
they
been-
were the
I know.
best band of the bunch, I thought. And
Well, and
one of their songs that they played, Alphabeta, is getting a lot of play on,
Well, good for them.
Sirius, on
And I
the
will
BB
say-
King channel.
You saying
on
we made them
Sirius.
famous?
yeah,
I was
That's
like
it.
you, I
We
was like
did.
Janet, a couple of them that you brought in last year, I'm looking at them saying, who in the world is this? And then I got a desk attendant, and you don't know who these people are. And apparently it did a good pull because I had no idea what these people were.
Yeah.
that's why we have someone booking
That's a-
the audience, the entertainers for
Yeah,
us.
that's why we go to Overdrive.
Yeah, that's,
Overdrive does really good work.
they do very good work.
They do the work for the casino, I think.
But if you want a larger name, it's gonna take more money than what we are putting out there.
I think we're doing good.
Okay.
Those 2 concerts, you're getting some people in here now that apparently got some pulling, and like I said, me and you don't know their name, but I guarantee you our desk attendants and people who do know their name. And then when you have it, apparently it's making a big pull down here, so that's good. I think we're fine.
So can I make a motion that we approve $150,000 for the fall concert series?
Yes, and
Seconded.
Okay.
Motion's been made and seconded.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
Yes,
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt? Chairman Chair.
Yes. Informational items, activity report for Discover Deer
If you look at page 54 in the back of your packet, some of our Facebook
Which page are you
overview.
on?
54.
Yeah.
This is just some of our Facebook hits as far as our new page likes, our followers, and things like that. I'm being very active on our website for local events. I've got a good group of people that keep sending me things going on in town. And actually, I think a lot of locals as well as travelers are using our website to find events and what's going on. We have people come in and they know something's going on, but they don't know what it is. We want them to be able to look at our website and say, oh, well, this conference is happening or this festival's going on. And I really think we're already grabbing onto that. So our socials are doing well.
So, are we getting metrics from any of these people? We used to have other people that, Facebook hits and things like that. Are we just doing this ourselves?
Well-
In-house management company or we?
We're not doing it ourselves. We're pulling the data from the resource. And that's what we've always done. What you, I think,
we did have somebody
I
else
think what
come
you're
in.
referring to is the geo fencing that we were doing.
Yeah.
And we had sidekick marketing that was doing for that. But that was outside of the realm of what we can pull the data and the stats off of our social media.
Still can pull them in about once a quarter and let him give a report for us.
No, Jim, because he's not on contract. He was doing geo-fencing around the casino for us. Those were the stats that he was presenting to us.
So, but the contract expired and we did
Yes,
not.
yes, we didn't.
Redid.
And that was because
What are your thoughts on, was it valuable or not?
for the amount that we spent, no, it wasn't. And when you look at Google analytics and you start really looking at that, it's something that eventually, if we wanted to do it, we could. I don't think that we personally got enough feedback from it to justify doing it. And what it is, it's the ads that go up, that when they are Googling in to find certain things, you'll see the pop-ups that come on your phone or on the computer that bug you to death, that you can't wait to click off. And yes, visionary, you will catch that. Does it imprint on the brain? There's a whole study that's done on that. But it was not, we were not getting direct feedback from any of those that that's what I felt. And for what we were paying him, we did not recommend that we go back into contract with him.
Now, we were getting the hits on our website, and apparently they were going every month or every 3 or 4 months it was growing. We don't know if it's growing or.
We still have that. We can still get that
You
data.
can still pull that.
Again, we stopped putting it in the packets because no one was asking about it. We get it. It's very simple to pull.
It'd be good to have that. We could tell if it's going up or down, or do we need to change the website or whatever, by how many hits that thing's getting.
I'm not disagreeing with you, no.
I can definitely pull it.
Thanks.
And as you can see, our Choctaw Nation Tourism sent us the list of the
Concerts are on page
Really?
55.
That's all of it, huh? Any whole business?
I don't recognize a lot of these people in this deal either, but it doesn't make any difference.
No.
If it fills the hotels, should we care?
That's right. That's right. All right. Any old business? Do you have any new business?
Make a motion to adjourn. Adjourn.
I agree.
Motion's been made and just seconded to adjourn.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Davis?
Yes?
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt? Chairman Sure?
Yes.
Say it isn't so. Oh, do you want my messy one too?
Oh, well, I
Just
can't.
kind of make little notes. Oh, thank you.
When you get your pen back.
Yeah.